Welcome again. So in this lecture, we will look into the third scenario we have. So as I mentioned about the rules, but we did not gone through these like how these rules works. So I just wanted to show you how these rule works and how you can utilize them for different purposes. So let's go to this. So for that purposes, like because we really don't need to touch anything, but we need to go to our field mapping where these rules are. So here you know that like we basically um, assign the source field to these different target fields we have. So let's say, as you know, like if we look into our file, like right there, our the last file we processed, here's the file. So you can see that this information right here is consistent because all we are creating the bank keys are for US. So obviously, what does that mean? We really don't, somehow if we can make that field constant, if we can make that field constant, then how we can do that? We basically, uh, we can just build a rule for that, which is a constant value rule, and we can just avoid this extra column. How we can do that, we will look into that in this lecture. So this is the field name right here. So you turns that screen into change mode, and then what you will do first, what we need to do is we're gonna delete the source field. So reset the rule to initial, yes. Earlier the rule was move the value from the source field, and the source we was getting from the file. So now we wanted to build a rule instead of deriving the value from the file. How we gonna do that? Select that value and click on rule. And here we're gonna select constant. So the default rule is transfer move, right there. But we wanted to have a constant value here. So once you select the field and select the rule, then you click select constant, and it turns that uh, it pops up another window for what constant value you wanted to have. Because it's US, in that case, I'm gonna select US. Obviously, it should be one of the bank country. You can select from the drop down too, and then click continue. And here you can see that now the rule get changed to constant and value is US. Here you just did that, and then you just go back out of that. And after that, the next step is just read the data. So for that, again, we need to make changes into our file. How we gonna do that? I'm gonna delete that column because we don't need that anymore. So that's how basically you can minimize the number of columns. You can minimize the number of columns in your file because sometime, like especially like when you are creating a vendor master, customer master, material master, you might have a lot of columns in that. So somehow if you have any constant values, you might can run multiple LSMWs for certain kinds of assets or vendors or customers or materials, and have constant values as a build rule in that instead of maintaining the values into the columns. And then I will save as that into temp folder, and I will select tab delimited text file, and I'm gonna just overwrite that. And if I go into temp folder and look at the file, now you can see that all we have is this data. But I think what we really need to do here is we need to because I wanted to have this batch session process. So let's make another thing here. If I will turn that to 18, then the next values will change automatically. I just wanted to change the bank keys because we are going to process this LSMW. Otherwise, we will turn it to error. So tab delimited and same file name, replace that and close out. No, let's not close out that. And now if I look into that file, now you can see that the information is changed now. I'm not changing the text, etc. because obviously it's IDS system. So, but it's not advisable to do all these kind of testing. You might can do that in your sandbox if you are working in real-time environment, but don't do this kind of testing in your quality system because you don't want to create a lot of mess in your data into your BNK table. So after that, all we are just doing is we just build the rule. Now we will be reading the file. Now you can see that 9 records read, 9 written. And if you go to display read data, you will see one information here. Here I wanted to give you one thing, like you here you will see that you don't see the bank, you all you are seeing is bank key and the bank name. Why you are not seeing the bank country? I will show you in a minute. So here you just need to keep that in mind whenever you build a rule in the display data, you don't see that data. But let's look into data converted. So we convert the data here successfully. And now we will go back and we will look into converted data. See, so this is kind of a mystery here. So now if you look into the converted data, as I mentioned that the converted data is the data which is kind of like what is going to be processed in the system. This is the view of the data, what you see in your display converted data option. Now you can see that the US was populated all across for all the records. So that's how basically you can do that. I'm just going all over and uh, creating the batch sessions and processing them over just because I wanted to show you like how it works and you don't run into any issue. And now I'm going to execute that. Otherwise, as long as the data is getting converted and you are seeing all the data, it should be processed. So let's process that. And here is the session overview. Go into that, select the session line and go analyze session and go to log here. And now you can see that all the lines were created. So now let's do another validation here because this is something really different we just did. So let's take the bank keys from here and enter here. You can copy the fields from here and then you just select this option upload from clipboard and it will bring all the information here, whatever you have copied. And then click here you can see that all the information was populated successfully. And now you can see that we have a country, bank key and created on. So it was all about in this quick lecture. I will stop here and I will see you in our next lecture.